Hi, everyone. I'm here today with Emmett Hodgins. How are you doing, Emmett?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining us today. I met Emmett at Humber College last year. He is a exceptional piano player, and he deals mainly with jazz styles, but also a bit of funk and fusion playing. So, Emmett, why don't we start off today? Can you talk to us a little bit about when you first started playing music and when you first picked up piano?
Yeah, sure. I think especially with like a lot of piano players, my start in music was through the classical genre. I did a lot of the RCM stuff growing up, starting when I was 8 years old, and I actually really enjoyed it, which was kind of peculiar to my parents because they were ready for me to hate it because of all the feedback their friends had gotten from trying to force their kids to play piano. And I didn't mind it. It was fun. There's a lot of work that goes into classical, but you get a lot out of it too. I think it was about when I was 17 that um, Daniel Lapp, who is an exceptional fiddle player in Victoria, and also a really really good jazz trumpet player, started pushing me towards the world of jazz. He could kind of see the way I was going with the whole being excited about chords and different voicings and all that stuff. And he wanted to kind of push me more in that direction. And so I started going to more shows. I started playing with the jazz band at school, strictly piano stuff, and I just fell in love with it.
That's awesome. On the folk music side, because I'm just curious as well a little bit more about folk music. Who are some of your influencers or people that you'd say are some of your mentors for the folk music side?
Another local musician that I really, really value is Adrian Dolan, who is a really, really fantastic jazz pianist in Victoria. And he kind of got me into the more of like the digital side of music and the being able to play around with different programs and different sounds through technical setups and that kind of thing, which was really really cool because that's a world I really had no knowledge in until coming to Humber.
Yeah, for sure. Now more than ever, musicians are going to have to adapt and learn how to use technology.
It is really cool, and it's crazy to think about how quickly people are to suddenly have millions and millions of hours of music just online and streaming and being able to record together, but across the city.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you have a piece that you would like to play?
I think that I'm gonna play probably one of my favorite standards. There you have it. A child is born.
Nice. So would you say there are any career highlights of yours in particular that you'd say throughout your career?
One of the biggest highlights for me in terms of performing would be the chance to play with third years this year in their finals. It was a really, really good experience to get to experience that energy early of being on stage. And it was kind of surreal because you can put yourself, when you're on stage with them, you can put yourself in their shoes and you can be like, okay, so this concert is completely surrounded around you.
Yeah. What would you say is one of your favorite parts about being a musician, would you say?
I think there's two things. It's the energy behind it. Personally, I don't think there's any better feeling on the planet than when you're up on stage with a group of other musicians and your energy is just so it's just flowing so well, like you're playing really, really well and you guys are super tight and the crowd is just totally, you can tell that they're just totally intrigued. And then the second feeling that I really like about being a musician is the ability that you have to just be completely yourself with it.
Awesome. Do you have maybe one more piece that you'd like to play for us?
Yeah. For the second tune, I'm gonna play the way I played anyway is really jumpy. It was one of my favorites to play in a combo at Humber.
Yeah, that was awesome. Why do you think music education is important?
I think that music education is important purely because, like any other art form, it's people can progress by themselves. People can learn um, through exposure. People can practice, insane amounts. But unless you are surrounded by and you have focused help by professionals and people who have been in the industry a long time, especially a very complex industry like the music industry that takes years to be able to really, really, really get into, and be a part of. It is super important to have that help and have that stepping stone of an education through music.
Yeah, 100%. That was a great answer. So, Emmett, thanks again for joining me today and talking a little bit about your music and what you've been up to.
Appreciate it.